Let's get started on the actual programming for our TextRPG. We are going to program here our title screen. So to get things started, we're going to open up our project. So I'm going to go to the Launchpad, find Sublime Text, go File, Open, Desktop, find my TextRPG folder, and there is my file. Go ahead and say Open. And I typed in some stuff at the end of yesterday, so hashtag here is a comment section for Python. So anything on that line is just going to be a comment, so it's not actually coding. So I put my name on the second line, and then I put a print statement, just hello world, just to make sure that I was actually getting something to work. Next, I'm going to open up Terminal again. So I click on the Launchpad, type in terminal, there it is, and it pops up. And again, I need to go to the folder where my Python file is. So I'm going to type cd space, and there's a shorter way than typing desktop slash. I can just drag the folder to that window. It puts in the words for me. I hit enter, and now if I hit ls, I am in that folder. I can type python3 game.py and it will run my game, and I saw that it printed hello world, which is what it does. So let's go ahead and continue on with programming our title screen. Alright, so I have my comments, I have my name. I'm just going to go ahead and delete my print statement. And I'm going to start with importing. So import statement lets us grab commands from the system, from the computer, so that we don't have to actually hard program all of these things ourselves. So I'm just going to say import cmd for command line. I'm going to import text wrap, import sys for system functions, import os for operating system functions, import time for time-based things, and import random, which is like random number generators for like rolling dice and things like that. And then also a screen width. I'm going to set that to be 100. So we're going to make a class for a character so that it initializes our first character, and we can store information like health and magic power or whatever else you want in your game. So I'm going to put a comment section about the player, so that way I can come back to it easily and find where I need to add my player. So a class player, colon. So this makes my class for my player. Then I'm going to define 2 underscores, initialize init self colon self dot name equals, and this will just be a placeholder until I figure out what I'm actually going to put in there, self dot HP. So this is like the hit points, so I'm going to put 0, so it's a number, so that it knows that HP is a number. Name is a string, which is why it has quotes, so that'll be like a word, and HP is just going to be a number. We're going to have, let's say, magic points, and that's also going to be a number. Let's see, what else can we add? Self dot status effects, and this is going to be an array, so this is the square brackets, and that'll just be our small little setup for now. We may add stuff in later, just depending on how big we want to make this game. Alright, so now we're going to set my player equals player brackets. So we're calling this player my player. So every time I make a new player, I can just say player and it will set up all this information for that player. So now I'm going to actually move on to my title screen. Yay! So this is what people interact with in this terminal when they run the game. The title screen actually pops up. So let's do another little section here called title screen. So we're going to define title screen selections colon, and they're going to type to navigate through this menu. So let's give them some choices. So option input, this allows them to input using text something. I'm going to add an arrow that follows their typing so that it kind of looks like one of these old retro games. So if option, whatever they type in, and doesn't matter if they do uppercase or lowercase, we're converting it to lower here, is 2 equal signs, and if they type play, we want something to happen. So we're going to say start game. Now we don't have start game loaded yet, so this is basically just a placeholder for something in the future until we write the actual play game or start game. Then we go to our second option, which will be else if, so ELIF, option lower. Let's see, what else do we want them to type? Maybe they're going to have a help menu. And we'll say we want to go to the help menu. And then another option. And it's going to be, it's going to be quit, because we might want to set up a quit screen. Makes sense. And then I'll do system.exit. So that's where we actually get to use our first import here, the sys. So it's actually exiting our code. And I put in the wrong quotes for these. I need to have double quotes. I am sorry. There you go. Alright, so we have the first part of our title screen going. So we also want our users to be able to continue using this title screen until something happens, until they actually type in something. So this is going to be in the while loop, and the option.lower is not in, and we're going to list out the words. So if they don't type play, if they don't type help, and if they don't type quit, so that'll cycle through until they type something that is actually play, help, or quit. So it looks for this list and sees if anyone has typed those three. Otherwise, it just keeps looping and looking for those. We can also have it say something like, print, please enter a valid option. And then we need to prompt the user for a new input. So they're going to type in something again. And then we're just going to go ahead and copy and paste this again so that it continues in the loop. So with our if, else, copy, paste. So it didn't actually move this stuff over, so I'm going to go ahead and move it over so that it looks a little better. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and hit enter a couple times. Alright, our next thing we need to do is clear out our screen so that it doesn't become just this giant mess of all this text. So I'm gonna need to type in def title underscore screen, and then we're using our OS dot system and single quotes clear. So this actually clears out the typing. So then we're just going to hit print, and we're going to add a bunch of hashtags, and this is what it's actually going to look like. So I'm going to print maybe, whoops, another hashtag, space, welcome to the TextRPG hashtag. Maybe add a couple more so they actually line up. I'm going to go ahead and copy that one so that everything lines up perfectly, and you can kind of see how it looks, how it's going to look when it actually prints. So we're going to actually show our menu choices. So print, single quote, hashtag, couple spaces, our first option, some more spaces, the next hashtag. I'm going to go ahead and copy that, type in my other choices. So change this, play, help, and the last one's going to be quit. Maybe I'll add in some lines on the side so it looks like they're actual choices. And then if I want to, maybe I could type in something like copyright 2019. And then I'm going to type in title, screen, selections. Whoops, there it is. Boom. Alright, so now we can define our help menu. Yay! Boom. Alright, so we defined our title screen, and I put the wrong thing. I need to have a colon there. Sorry. Small little things that you find. And I can actually get rid of that. I don't need that. It's just going to end on exit. Alright, so I'm going to actually just take my print statements, copy those, because that's exactly what I'm going to do again. And instead of all this stuff, I'm going to change it to, let's say, use up, down, left, right to move. Delete all those extras. Let's see, what else am I gonna say? How about type your commands to do them. Alright, let's see what else. Use look to inspect something. And then my last one is good luck and have fun. Alright, so that is our help menu. Pretty easy. So to print the option to get back out of it, we just call the title screen selection again, so that it just runs the whole title screen selection again. If we don't have it, they're just going to be stuck in that help menu. So all we have left is to do the start game. So def start game and colon. Can't forget to make these colons, I am sorry. And that's what we have. So that's what we're going to end with today. This is our title screen. And hopefully you have things correct. Make sure you have the colons at the end instead of semicolons. You saw I ran into a couple of those. So I'm going to go ahead and hit save. I'm going to go ahead and see if anything runs. Oh no. Forgotten to add on this line 31 where it says play help quit. I needed that colon that was there. And then I added a print statement so that when I actually did python3 game.py, it ran with no errors. Now it hasn't showed me any of my title screen yet, but there are no errors. We will continue working on that in our next lesson. Dun 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 dun.